Isaac told me the moment he knew something was wrong was when he heard someone whisper his name from the back of the empty auditorium. He thought it was his partner, Jose, until Jose radioed him at that exact second, asking Isaac why he had called for help. That's when they both realized they were hearing someone else, someone who wasn't supposed to be inside the building. A few minutes later, they saw a red balloon floating in the hallway, drifting slowly toward the auditorium doors. Just floating, like it wanted them to follow. And when they did, the temperature inside the auditorium dropped instantly. Their breath turned white. And right above them, in the dim upper balcony, they saw figures, a whole row of dark silhouettes sitting in the seats, watching them. And that was only the beginning of the night those two custodians barely made it out of that building alive. Tonight's story was sent to us by a subscriber named Luis, who used to work the night shift as a custodian at a local university. He told us about two co-workers of his, Isaac and Jose, who worked the study hall and performing arts building together every night. They were both quiet, responsible, hard-working guys, the kind of people who minded their business, did their job, and didn't scare easy. But one night, something happened inside that building. Something so terrifying. Luis said the story circulated among the night staff for years. Here's exactly what happened. Isaac and Jose worked the late shift at a local university, a mid-sized campus with one of the oldest performing arts buildings in the state. During the daytime, the place was loud, students practicing instruments, clubs meeting, study groups laughing and moving through the halls. But when night fell, the entire building turned into a silent maze of long hallways, low power lights, and empty classrooms. Their shift always started at 10 p.m. Isaac was assigned to the upper hallway, the main entrance, the study lounge, and half of the auditorium seating. Jose handled the lower hallway, the side staircases, the backstage area, and the auditorium aisles and stage. They were supposed to meet in the middle when they finished. It was a normal night, nothing unusual. No events scheduled, no late-night rehearsals, just the quiet hum of ventilation and the sound of their cleaning carts rolling down polished floors. Around midnight, things began to change. Isaac was sweeping the upper hallway near the auditorium doors when he heard someone say his name. Isaac! He froze. The hallway was empty. He looked behind him, expecting to see Jose. "Hey, I'm up here!" he shouted. But no one answered. No footsteps, no movement. Just silence. A few minutes later, Jose was dust mopping near the front row inside the auditorium when he heard it too. "Jose," it was whispered. Soft, close to his ear. He spun around so fast the mop slipped from his hand. But the auditorium was empty. Nobody in the seats, nobody on the stage, nobody behind him. He checked his radio. "Isaac, you call me?" Isaac answered, "No, but I heard you call me earlier." Both men went silent. They tried to shrug it off. Long shifts mess with your head. Acoustics in old auditoriums echo weirdly. But something deep in their gut told them this wasn't an echo or a trick of sound. Someone had called their names, and it wasn't each other. The next strange thing happened around 10 minutes later. Isaac turned the corner of the upper hallway and came face to face with something that made him stop dead in his tracks. A balloon, a single red balloon floating in the air. No movement of air in the hallway, and no parties or events had been held there that day. The balloon drifted a few inches toward him, then gently floated away, heading down the hallway as if it were being pulled by invisible hands. At that moment, Jose stepped out of a side corridor and saw the same thing. "What the hell?" he whispered. The balloon continued drifting, slow and steady, turning corners without touching the walls. It moved like it had intention, like it wanted them to follow. They watched it glide down the long hallway, past the bulletin boards and classroom doors, until it stopped at the entrance of the auditorium. The doors stood slightly open, just enough for the balloon to slip inside. Isaac and Jose exchanged a look, and then they followed. The moment they stepped inside the auditorium, the temperature hit them. Both men felt it instantly, a freezing cold blast of air that didn't match the thermostat reading. Their breath fogged in front of them. Isaac rubbed his arms, trying to warm himself, but the air around them felt like ice. The balloon floated slowly down the center aisle, between the rows of seats, headed toward the back of the auditorium. Then it stopped. It didn't rise. It didn't fall. It didn't sway. It just hung there, suspended in the air, completely still. Isaac whispered, "How is it just floating like that?" Jose took a shaky step backward, his eyes locked not on the balloon, but on the balcony above it. "Isaac," he said quietly, "look up." Isaac lifted his head, and that was the moment both men realized they were not alone. Up in the dim light of the upper balcony were several dark shapes, human-shaped figures, a group of tall and thin shadows, sitting or standing in the upper rows. They were perfectly still, no movement, no breathing. They looked like students, but they weren't solid. They were silhouettes, darker than the surrounding shadows. Some leaned forward over the balcony railing, as if watching the stage. Others sat like they were waiting for something to begin. Isaac whispered, "Those aren't real people." Jose whispered back, "Don't look at them. Just walk back." Slowly. But the figures began to shift. Not walk, not turn. Just shift. Their heads tilted, their bodies leaned, their attention focused on the two custodians below. That was enough. Both men turned and ran. They didn't stop running until they reached the music wing. They stopped in front of the music room, breathing heavily, trying to make sense of what they saw. Before they could speak, they heard something from behind the closed door. Piano notes. Soft at first, then joined by a violin, then drums, a full ensemble. The music grew louder, like a rehearsal happening behind the closed door. But it was nearly 1 a.m. No students, no teachers, no staff were allowed in this area at night. Isaac whispered, "No one is supposed to be here." Jose, shaking, said, "We should make sure. What if someone got locked in?" Isaac didn't want to open the door, but Jose reached for the handle anyway. He pulled it open, and inside the room, they saw them. A group of silhouette figures, 10, maybe 12, standing or sitting in the positions of musicians. Each held the dark outline of an instrument, a violin, a flute, a trumpet, a drum. Their shapes were human, but not solid. Their arms moved slowly and unnaturally, as if underwater. Yet the music they played was impossibly clear. The shadows all turned toward the door at once. Isaac slammed it shut. "Run," he said. "We need to run." And they did. They sprinted through the hallways, past the stairwells, past the offices, past the empty lobby. They didn't stop until they were outside the building, standing under the cold night air. They called campus security. They called their supervisor. No one arrived for nearly 40 minutes. When a security guard finally showed up, Isaac and Jose told him everything. The balloon, the cold air, the shadow figures, the music. The guard didn't laugh. He didn't question them. He simply said, "You saw them too, huh?" The guard explained that years ago, more than a decade, a group of music students from the university were driving to an out-of-state competition. Their bus hit black ice. It flipped, rolled, and slid into a frozen creek. All of them died. The university dedicated the music wing to the students, and ever since the accident, custodians and security guards have reported strange things. Music playing late at night, dark silhouettes in the auditorium balcony, footsteps in the hallways, voices calling their names. Some believed the spirits were trying to finish the performance they never got to give, and some said the spirits didn't know they were gone. They never entered that building again. Luis, the subscriber, told us that this story was whispered around night staff for years. And if you ask Isaac or Jose today, they still won't talk about it. They just say one thing: never go inside that auditorium after midnight. And if someone calls your name, don't answer. If you've ever experienced something like this, something you can't explain, and you want your story featured on the channel, send it to us. Thanks for listening. And remember, some halls don't get quiet at night. Some halls keep their echoes forever.